This video is going to be super interesting because of the footage you'll see later on. I tested the new iPhone 16 Pro Max for several months and ran into a few small problems. It seems like Apple took a step backward with the improvements they had made, because this new trend of adding buttons, like the action button, that replaces the easy-to-use mute button and the camera control button, which didn't exist on previous models, ended up creating more problems than solutions. In my opinion, they really took a step back and made the phone more annoying to use. Not only can you accidentally press these buttons, but it's also a pain when putting it in holders, tripods or other accessories, since the side buttons can be pressed unintentionally when you hold the device. Switching from an iPhone 13 Pro Max to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I noticed that for how I use the phone, the improvement was minimal. As you can see in the images, it's pretty hard to tell which phone is which. The gold iPhone is the 13 and the black one is the 16. The size is almost the same, so if you're thinking about switching phones and think the new one won't fit in your hand, don't worry. At first glance, the images look the same without many changes, even though the specs say the image quality should be much better. In reality, they're almost identical. However, the zoom on this new iPhone 16 Pro Max is definitely good compared to the previous ones. Stay until the end and I'll show you some images testing the camera's zoom that will blow you away. The iPhone 13 is heavier since the material is different. On the other hand, the iPhone 16 is not only lighter but also a bit thinner. One of the reasons I decided to switch phones was the battery, but after using this new device for several months, the difference in performance is barely noticeable. Except, of course, for the fact that the new iPhone gets hotter than the previous one, which, for obvious reasons, makes me think that the battery life won't be the best. I don't know if switching from gold to black was a good idea. What do you think? The iPhone 16. Pro Max has evolved with a polished titanium frame, making it lighter and stronger than the stainless steel of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Also, its screen has grown to 6.9 inches with a brightness of 2000 nits, improving visibility in sunlight. I, in practice, see them as the same. Power: the new 3nm A18 Pro in the iPhone 16 Pro Max is up to 40% faster in graphics performance compared to the A15 Bionic in the iPhone 13 Pro Max. If you're a gamer or enjoy video editing on your phone, this difference is key. The camera is another big leap. The iPhone 16 Pro Max features a 48-megapixel main sensor, improving detail and color capture, while the iPhone 13 Pro Max stays at 12 megapixels. The difference? Sharper, professional-looking photos without effort. What I can confirm is that the zoom is very good, as I said before. And the battery? Supposedly the iPhone 16 Pro Max lasts up to 33 hours of use, while the 13 Pro Max reaches 28 hours. Honestly, to me, it seems the same. I even think the iPhone 13 Pro Max had better battery performance since it didn't get as hot. I have doubts about this. What do you all think? Before I continue, I want to let you know that at the end of this video, you will see exclusive, real and unique images of a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon, formerly known as a UFO. This is because the object that appears in the images could not be identified, but who knows, maybe some of you, in the comments, can help us figure out what it is. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks. Check out this video. Despite the long distance, the images I got with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max's zoom are very detailed. The ability to easily zoom in and out is a really remarkable improvement in this new device. This interesting place in El Salvador is called the Devil's Door, a name that comes from a strange rock formation that kind of looks like a door. Legend says that this door was the escape route for the devil to flee from his captors. Anyway, it's a great place to test your iPhone, so if you're ever in the area, this place is highly recommended. Here you'll see other videos of some exotic animals from this tropical country in Central America. The location where I captured these images will be very important. because of the impressive shots you'll see later. Some of these images were taken at a place called the Botanical Garden, where you can see reptiles and other animals. What do you call this species in your country? In El Salvador, it's known as cotuza, a pretty exotic animal, I must say. Later, we visited the San Salvador volcano, also known as El Boquerón, which majestically rises west of the Salvadoran capital, forming part of San Salvador's everyday landscape. At almost 2,000 meters high, this inactive giant boasts an impressive crater over 1 kilometer in diameter, a testament to ancient eruptions that marked the region's geological history. Its surroundings are covered with lush vegetation, nature trails and viewpoints that reveal spectacular panoramas of the Valle de las Hamacas. The images captured with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max, whose triple-lens camera and improved sensor allow for 4K resolution recording, are incredibly sharp. Cinematic mode adds realistic depth of field, ideal for capturing both the vastness of the crater and the subtle details of the local flora. Thanks to optical stabilization and advanced artificial intelligence processing, each shot conveys the serenity and dormant power of this natural icon of El Salvador, to whom these impressive images belong. The iPhone managed to focus at very long distances, to the point that, at the bottom of the volcano's crater, it was possible to make out some writing. Finally, we went to the beach on the Pacific Ocean, specifically Costa del Sol, on February 18, 2025 at approximately 7 p.m. The location, date and time are very important, especially when it comes to celestial phenomena. I took the opportunity and the darkness of the night to admire the beautiful stars in the sky and record some video. But look what I found in the night sky at the beach. What the heck is that? At that moment we saw among the stars, specifically near the constellation Orion, a point that was moving very far away. Because of its distance, its slow movement and its horizontal trajectory, I didn't hesitate to tell my daughters that it was a satellite, since I had seen them on other occasions. That's when I decided to record a video and take advantage of the iPhone's magnificent zoom, hoping to get a better look at the object. To my surprise, the camera managed to focus on it, and it was really quite peculiar. It's important to explain how this image was captured. Since the object was moving, I made sure to immediately align the phone's cameras directly towards it. At that moment, it was located vertically right above me, near the constellation Orion. Due to the darkness of the night and the lack of reference points, one might think that the object was static. However, I was able to follow it by zooming in with the iPhone, which, by the way, did an excellent job. I was by the sea, on the beach, and the object continued moving towards the ocean until it disappeared. The object appears long and narrow, similar to a capsule, a cigar, or a tic-tac, like the Nimitz UAP in 2004. The object appears to emit or reflect light, which suggests that the brightness didn't flicker or pulse, which could indicate a solid, non-fuel-based surface rather than fire or plasma. No jet engines, exhaust trails or rotor blades are observed in the images. It moved smoothly and silently, suggesting an unconventional propulsion system. Some UAPs are reported with electromagnetic or anti-gravity propulsion systems, which is consistent with this type of sighting. The brightness and shape appear evenly distributed along its length, rather than being irregular. Some high-altitude balloons, hypersonic drones or experimental aircraft have similar smooth aerodynamic bodies. In short, for me, a good way to describe this object would be a bright, cylindrical or capsule-shaped object that moved slowly and silently over the Pacific Ocean. It appeared to emit or reflect light and had no visible wings, tail or propulsion system. Its movement was constant and horizontal, without sudden changes in speed or direction. Now it's your turn to participate. What do you think this object is? Could it be the remains of some spacecraft? Leave your opinion in the comments. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe and share it with your friends. See you next time.